Hi guys, Linda here from Create Your Future. I'm just popping on to make a video to answer a viewer's request. But before we begin, if you would like coaching with yours truly, check the link down below and you could book a session with me. And also a reminder that we do have a free course on how to uncover your blocks and how to manifest fast. So the video this viewer commented on was one of my shorts that said, "You are not your thoughts." And they wanted me to create a full-length video to explain that. So what is meant by "you are not your thoughts" is that your thoughts do not define you. The thoughts stem from a lifetime of influence. So everyone has a different set of thoughts and thought pattern, thought process based on your experiences, maybe your culture, maybe the area you live in. Also from things that your parents said. If your parents said stop eating, you're getting too chubby, you're too old to do this, you're too young to do this, money's hard to save, and now you have these thoughts that you're not good enough and money's hard to save and all that. So they do not define you. Those are just thoughts. Those are just something that you're thinking. They're fleeting thoughts. They come into your head. They pop in. And thoughts are useful because you have to think of what to do and the next thing to do, and your thoughts also show you where your mental diet's at, where your self-concept is at. If you're dominantly thinking negative thoughts, unfavorable thoughts, then you're going to create an unfavorable circumstance. And if dominantly you're having positive thoughts, you're catching those thoughts and staying dominantly in a favorable thought process, mental diet, then you're going to create or have reflected back to you more favorable circumstances. So another thing I want you to remember is that thoughts are malleable, and most of the time the thoughts you have are not truth. If you're having a poor mental diet or you have a poor self-concept in a certain area, you're almost wired to think those thoughts. So for example, thinking I'm broke, I have no money, money's hard to come by, because you came from a family that maybe told you that, or you're in a society, or you're living somewhere where it's too expensive to purchase things. So now you're thinking those things, but you are not broke. You are not your thoughts. You are thinking you are broke. You are thinking you have no money. So what I'd like to do is challenge it. Is it factual that I'm broke? Is this something that I can't change? Is this something that is concrete? Because that's what's going to help you manifest favorably and manifest, unfavorably. If you're sticking to the guns that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I think I'm going to be single forever, I think that money's too hard to make. If you stay in that thought process, you're going to create more of that situation. But if you change your thinking and you think that I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am lucky, I think I'm going to have a great day today, I think I got the job, then you're going to create that. Whatever you're thinking of most dominantly is what's going to reflect. So what I want you to do is look at your thoughts as experiences you've had. It's not you. It's not true. It's not factual. They're just experiences that have now created this pattern of thoughts in you. I might not have the same thought process or thought pattern as you because I lived a different experience when it comes to that thought, to that desire. So look at your thoughts as experiences you've had and not as the sum of who you are. These are just thoughts that you're thinking based on experiences. It doesn't define you. It's not a sum of who you are. It's not describing you. It's not concrete. It can change. It can be malleable. You can think differently. And what happens when you think differently? You act differently, you react differently, and then you attract and you have reflected back to you differently. If you're always thinking negatively, you're going to see yourself experience negative experiences. And if you're thinking positively, you're going to experience positive desires. So again, look at your thoughts as experiences you've had, not as the sum of who you are, and you can change your thoughts. They are malleable. They're not concrete or factual. Another point is to observe your thoughts without attachment. Do not attach to those thoughts so that you can change those thoughts and you can change the way you react. So for example, if let's just say you don't get a job and you're thinking, I didn't get this job, I'm never going to get this job, I'm not good enough, this is never going to happen. So now I'm identifying as myself, as a version of myself that did not get the job, is not good enough to get the job, and will never get the job. That is just a thought based on the experience because I didn't get the job. But I am not my thoughts. It doesn't mean I will never get the job. I am not going to have the job. So when you detach from that and you say, okay, you know what? It's kind of a crappy thought to have. I know where it's coming from. I'm just upset because I didn't get the job. That's cool. I didn't get the job because maybe I was doubting it, or I was fearing it, or I had a story that I wasn't good enough for the job, or I didn't have the credentials for the job. I get it. That's cool. I'm going to detach from that thought. I'm going to think a new thought. And this is when you can go into your affirmations, your techniques. I am chosen. I am worthy of this job. I always get what I desire. I'm worthy and good enough for this job. And as you're changing your thoughts, you're changing the timeline that you're on, and you're going to align and have reflected back to you somebody giving you that job, another job offer coming up. Maybe they made a mistake at that job and are going to call you back, or the person that got the job turned it down and you're the second person up there. So everything is reflective of you. Everyone is you pushed out. So be very cognizant of the thoughts that you have. Do not identify as your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are just things you're thinking based on your experiences. And so I want you to observe them, detach them, and let's move along. When you're aware of your thoughts, it helps you to respond better, more favorably. So for example, if SP doesn't call and I'm thinking, I'm not good enough, he doesn't want me, I think he's over me, I think he's talking to someone else, he's not going to call, now I'm going to get worked up, and maybe I'm going to take 3D action, and maybe I want to call and, yell at him, or maybe I'm going to send him some long nasty text why he didn't call and all that. But if I'm aware of my thoughts and I say, okay, I don't think SP's going to call, and this is why he's not calling. It's because I thought that he wasn't going to call, and I thought that he was probably with someone else, and I thought that he wasn't interested, and this is why he hasn't called yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change those thoughts, because I'm not identified as a person that's not receiving thoughts, calls. I'm thinking I'm not going to get a call. Therefore, I'm going to think differently. You know what? I am going to get the call. SP is probably really busy. He's probably charging his phone. He's going to call me any minute now. And therefore, guess what? You're going to get the phone call. I also want you to use your positive thoughts to help change and shape your behavior. So for example, if you're thinking a negative thought and it's creating or aligning you with or having reflected back to you something unfavorably, use your positive thoughts to do the same in the opposite direction. So think positively. I am amazing. I get what I want. SP loves me. SP adores me. And that's going to reflect back to you as well. So another thing to think of is those thoughts that you're thinking of yourself. Would you ever say that to somebody else? Would you ever say those things to your friend? Probably not. So why would you think those things about yourself? So it's a tough pill to swallow, to know that our dominant thoughts are creating. But what I want everyone to realize is you are not your thoughts. Do not define who you are because of the thoughts you're having. Remind yourself that, okay, I'm just thinking this because when I was younger, this and this used to happen. It's not factual. It does not define me. It's malleable. I'm going to be aware of what I'm thinking. I'm going to change what I'm thinking so that I can align and have reflected back to me the most favorable thing. So I intend that this helped you guys out and made you realize you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are just based on experiences and influence from experiences. You can change them. They are malleable. They are not factual. They are not concrete. They do not define you. It's just something that you are thinking, and you can think something else if you'd like, and you can change that outcome by thinking differently. So on that note, until the next video and all that jazz, I hope you have a great week, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.